Why aren't actors ugly anymore? Video by Archer Green. You already know what it is, man. Thank you for clicking on this video. Like and subscribe. If you guys haven't already, we're back with another one, man. You already know what it is. So let's check this out, man.
We saw, we kicked its ass.
Bill Murray was 33 when he shot Ghostbusters.
That's right, boys.
And in the 70s and 80s, this is what actors in their 30s and 40s look like. But something has changed since then, because actors that age today don't look like this anymore.
I lost my hand!
They look like this. Or like this.
Yeah. That is, I never really thought, until I saw this video, I never really thought about this. And I'm assuming now, I know I'm pausing way too early, it's only 20 seconds, but I'm assuming that this whole problem is purely because the standard, not only on beauty, but just in society in general, has heightened so much that actors and Hollywood stars and singers, these famous people, they feel the urge, they feel the need, they feel the pressure to completely change their looks, to get into all these surgeries. I mean, take a look at Selena Gomez. Take a look at Ariana Grande. You know, I can, at the end of the video, search them up and show you guys. It's bad. It's really bad. It's to the point where they do not look human. They look inhumane, man. That's purely because of this pressure on society to look the best. Aging sucks. If you're old, you're an unk. Blah, blah, blah. People take it as a joke, but all jokes have a sample of truth behind them, am I right? And so, you know, maybe he's gonna go that direction. That's what I'm thinking when I first heard about this. But let's see where he goes with all this.
Actors today need to have great hair, perfect skin, and be in flawless shape. They don't look like regular people anymore, they look like supermodels. This isn't every single actor, but it's clear there's been an overall change in how A-list performers look. And it's also how they're shown to the camera, like in low lighting and with more vibrant colours. They're surrounded by other people, and on an actual set, rather than a green screen.
Everything's under control, situation normal.
You're probably going to say this is because of a wider trend of movies looking bland and flat nowadays, and things like bad lighting, dull colours, and the Netflixy look make basically everything in modern movies look worse. And also, we can't ignore cosmetic surgery.
As my plastic surgeon always said.
But if you look at movies from before the millennia, it's hard to deny that the actors looked more like regular people.
Keep it still back there, lady, or else we're gonna have to shoot you.
Okay, so the word ugly is a bit harsh, and I'm not trying to objectify or body shame anyone.
You know, I was going to say, I don't think they were ever ugly, I'm not gonna lie. They were just normal, right? I really think that's what it is. Actors were never ugly back then. They just looked like a normal people, bro, a normal guy. Nowadays, these new actors, right, or our actors in our generation in the 21st century, right? Well, they look normal, but when you look at their age, it's like, whoa, that's not normal, right? And most of them actually don't look normal. I'll take that back. You know what I'm saying? If you look, like I said, I brought Selena Gomez and Ariana Grande as an example, but if you look at guys, if you look at, you know, just plenty of people, bro, you can see the Miley Cyrus, for example, bro. Like, you can see, there's so many. You can see the plastic surgery. You can literally see everything is fake, right? And that actually, you know, transits to this movie, not this movie, but just movies in general also being fake, right? It's all connected and intertwined.
Most people who are cast in movies aren't unpleasant to look at. I just mean that they have bodies and faces that could theoretically belong to a normal person.
All right, you did not, Archer Green, you did not fucking
What?
have to do that clip. What the hell is that, bro? That shit got me like, come on, bro.
Without the aid of personal trainers, dietitians, and plastic surgeons. They look like normal everyday people you could see walking down the street.
I need a man who has powerful friends.
Bruce Willis, Bill Murray, and Jack Nicholson aren't bad-looking guys, but they have a sort of everyman appeal that we just don't see in today's stars.
Saw it on the television.
And a big part of this is that today, people just generally look younger.
Physical, clean,
Age.
26.
There's a great Vsauce video from a few years ago that goes into this in more detail. Essentially, the clothes and overall style has changed, and combined with better medical care, nutrition, and less smoking, people are healthier and better looking.
I guess I started smoking when I was about 4.
So here's a few age comparisons that highlight this in
My
action.
mom was already dead then from lung cancer.
Gene Hackman is 44 here. Actors in their mid-40s today look like this.
Are we soulmates?
Or
Which
like
is
this.
insane.
There's quite a big difference.
No, but listen, man, there is a huge difference, but The crazy part is you can see that he's actively trying to look younger. That's the weird part, right? Now, I love Jake Gyllenhaal, bro. I love his movies. But you can tell that he's trying to be younger, bro. Like, you can see it. I don't know if he had any surgeries done or anything. I would assume not. But I can see maybe it's the makeup on this set. I forgot what this is called. But with the Conor McGregor movie, which was all right. But maybe it's the makeup or something. But you can see his wrinkles kind of stretched out a little bit and kind of hidden. I don't know. It does look uncanny, right? Uncanny. That's the best word I can think of. But it's a major difference from what people used to look like.
Just a little slap. Sylvester Stallone was 30 when he first shot Rocky.
Look at his face.
A comparable actor today would be Timothée Chalamet at 29.
You young pup.
But they play very different types of characters. If we want to be fair, let's compare two all-American action stars.
Drop it, dickhead.
Glenn Powell, 35 in Twisters, and Bruce Willis, 33 in Die Hard. Robert Pattinson was 35 when he played Batman, and Michael Keaton was only 2 years older.
Bruce Wayne.
Are you sure?
But Keaton has visible lines around his mouth, his hair has receded a bit, and he has a subtle 5 o'clock shadow that doesn't feel purposeful. But Pattinson, even though dressed up to look sleep-deprived and reclusive, has a chiseled jaw and perfect skin. Overall, he looks a lot younger.
That's interesting.
Right.
But
right.
there's something more at play than actors simply looking older in the past.
Frank, they're not here for you.
It's the kind of faces that have changed too.
Weird Al Yankovic is on the plane.
It's the everyman look. Receding curly hair or imperfect skin. And it's because of these distinct features that characters had a stronger sense of personality just by looking at them.
Do you have any hobbies?
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
But before we continue, let's take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Opera Browser.
Alright, get your money, bro. Get your money. Let's skip this shit a little bit.
In the opening of Once Upon a Time in the West, we meet 3 characters who don't survive the end of the scene. But they all have an interesting look. Al Mullock has long hair blowing across his face and vibrant blue eyes. Jack Elam has the long eyebrows and beard.
You know what else it could be? My bad for pausing so much. What else it could be is that they back then just probably didn't really care. They probably didn't really care about the makeup. They probably, like, even for guys, you know, guys wear makeup on sets, right? I know I'm talking about makeup like Jim Carrey the Grinch, where it's green. No, I'm talking about just regular makeup to hide some wrinkles and hide some pimples and stuff, whatever the hell. They're wearing that, and that's normal now, right? They used to, bro, women, but, you know, guys as well, bro, before they get on set, I heard, you know, I'm not an actor, I heard that they take 2 hours to get ready, bro. 2 hours?
What?
Shit, man. You know, you might as well have a girl that's getting ready for the mall with that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just think back then they just cared less, right? And I think that's really what emphasizes how fake the Hollywood movies have been, you know, lately, and how much of a decline it's been. I think that they cared back then more about the movie than the looks, right? Where nowadays it's completely switched. The roles are reversed. People care, or actors and Hollywood directors and whatever, they care so much about the look of it that the pure soul the movie has is gone. And I really think that's what it is, man. If you agree, let me know, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think I made a pretty valid point with that.
That goes down his neck. And then Woody Strode looks completely different, with a square jaw and a piercing look. From their faces alone, we can get a level of understanding to their character. It's hard to put into words, but we get a feeling that this guy is going to behave differently to this guy. And then compare them to the station manager. We can understand the dynamic just from the way they look. You can say this is down to great casting, and to some extent it is, but ultimately, it's just these guys' faces that carry the entire 15-minute opening.
Oh, well, I suppose it'll be alright.
It's the same with the heads of the 5 families in The Godfather. Sure, they all look like mob bosses, but they have small differences in their appearance.
We're all grateful to Don Corleone for calling this meeting.
How they style their hair, the type of suit they wear, and how fat they are, all goes a long way to tell us about their character.
He had all the judges and politicians in his pocket.
And this isn't just limited to side characters. Even the leads in the past had a more interesting look. They didn't all look like supermodels.
You look like 40 miles of rough road.
This is people like Sissy Spacek, Leslie Nielsen, and Cher. They simultaneously look like a normal person, but also have a unique look.
Completely normal individual.
They look real. That's what it is. They don't look uncanny. They look real. And that's what normal really is. Normal is just real. You're just real, right? You fit the standard of everybody else, and you're just a real person, right? And so when you look at these new celebrities, bro, I can keep going on the list, bro, but I already gave a couple examples. They don't look real. right? It doesn't even have to do with the plastic surgery. It can be by the way they carry themselves. But, you know, it can be so many other things that affect how we see them, but they just look uncanny. They just look unreal, right? And that's really what it is.
Kurt Russell in Escape from New York was big, but in shirtless scenes his abs have little definition. Bruce Willis was handsome, but his receding hairline and modest muscles retain a sort of everyman look. And compare how Hugh Jackman looked in the first X-Men film in 2000 to Deadpool Wolverine. So what is the effect of this? What is the effect of seeing these regular looking people on screen? And how does seeing interesting faces work to make a movie better? Let's take a look at a few examples.
What have you done to it? What have you done to its eyes?
This is Mia Farrow in Rosemary's Baby.
I'm Rosemary Woodhouse.
As the film progresses, she cuts her hair shorter and begins to look paler and thinner. Visually, we understand the transformation the character is undergoing.
I'm not changing. I just want to go to Dr. Hill and get a second opinion.
Would this work if she was played by someone like Margot Robbie? I don't think so. It's Mia Farrow's unique look that helps make the character feel like an actual person that could exist somewhere, which makes us empathize with her more.
Dr. Hill, please.
It's the same with John Travolta in Blowout, Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson in The Shining, and Malcolm McDowell in A Clockwork Orange.
It was horrible.
In Star Wars, Luke and his family look like fairly ordinary people, whereas Grand Moff Tarkin and the Imperial officers have a much more austere look to them.
Fear will keep the local systems in line.
In the 20th century, the pool of actors to choose from seems to have been much more aesthetically varied than it is today. There was actors with big noses.
I got it. Go ahead.
Big foreheads.
He's gonna prove it to the whole world.
Heavy-set eyes.
Did you know that?
And receding hairlines.
With you and me together, that'd be tops.
We subconsciously infer things about people's personality based on their features, which in turn helps them create a richer character without much heavy lifting.
Mentally, you picture my dog.
In Taxi Driver, De Niro's buddies look like real cab drivers you could actually find in New York. This guy, completely bald on top but with a flow at the back. This guy with his scruffy beard and round glasses. And even De Niro himself with his 5 o'clock shadow and redness around his eyes. If you got into a cab and this was the driver, you wouldn't think twice.
Did I tell you to do that with the meter?
All of these actors look like they actually belong in the setting.
You know, I mean, he's just kind of going in a circle when it comes to this, but I'm just telling you right now, when it comes to, let's say Margot Robbie. Now, I don't know if she went, you know, through any plastic surgeries or not, but she's a beautiful actor, right? She's known for her beauty. In Harley Quinn, she looked hella nice, you know what I'm saying? The reason why she wouldn't fit that role is purely because people find her so damn attractive, right? And the role needed somebody who you could tell is getting worse and worse physically. You know, that's really what it is. And part of the reason why they find her so attractive could possibly be because of the surgeries. I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? I don't follow her that much. But, you know, that's kind of the point that he's trying to make, right?
Rather than just walking out of a dressing room.
Can I talk to you for a second?
And this is environmental immersion. In 1976, after Sylvester Stallone went 15 rounds in Rocky, his face was soaking wet, his hair sticking to his head, and he's covered in blood with his face fully contorted with bruises. But in 2015, after Michael B. Jordan fought in Creed, he's just got a subtle sheen of sweat and a small bruise around one eye.
Stop! It's me!
At the end of Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's suit is ripped to hell, revealing his bruised, dirty and sweaty face and this chaotic tear across his mask.
Mr. Osborn.
But for Tom Holland, he's got a couple of cuts that seem very intentionally placed, and his suit isn't ripped at all.
And his hair is nice, dry and fluffy. You know what I'm saying? It's just not real. It's just not real. Now, the movie, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man also wasn't real, right? Not real like, oh, it's something that would happen in real life, but it felt more real. Why? Because they just did it. They weren't thinking about, oh, the audience is going to like it if we put this at a 15-degree angle because the marketing strategy is going to, like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. They just did it, right? Just do it, right?
His mask hasn't been torn open, but just neatly taken off.
Blondie? Water?
After Clint Eastwood walked 70 miles in the desert, his face is completely scarred and burned. We can barely recognize it. But today, there aren't many examples of actors looking scarred like this. It seems like everyone has to look perfect all the time. It's as if somewhere along the way, almost every actor has taken the substance and transformed into a kind of picture-perfect version of themselves. Not a single wrinkle, not a hair out of place, and completely smooth skin. The best we'll get is maybe a small smear of dirt or a tiny cut. And they look great, but when everyone looks perfect, things start to get a bit stale. And sure, this isn't every single actor working today. You can still find distinct looking people, but it seems like it is the majority of them. In an article from 2020,
this is the big stuff right here. We're getting into the deep end.
Raquel S. Benedict likens our body to becoming investments in which we have to maximize our value through looking good. We're reduced to a collection of features like perfect skin or a strong jawline. The body is no longer the vehicle through which we experience joy and pleasure, but a status symbol that needs to be constantly presentable to the world.
Put your greasy tits away, you preening slut.
For actors, this is taken to the extreme, especially for women. They can never age or show any imperfection. They need to be a bankable star, and a big part of this is looking good on camera.
Pretty girls should always smile.
Let's take hairlines as an example. Sure, Andrew Garfield probably got a hair transplant because he thought it would improve his appearance, but also because it's better to have a smaller forehead as a leading man. And with modern technology, if you can fix this, why wouldn't you?
Yes, Sergeant!
This just wasn't the case in the past, hence a wider spectrum of hairlines and a bigger aesthetic variety.
I wouldn't touch one hair on his goddamn little head.
But today, this is becoming increasingly noticeable, and more people are commenting on it, and here are a few things they've said. I miss actors having normal teeth, and then a picture of Tom Cruise from The Outsiders.
Check this out, buddy.
It's so annoying and just plain boring that everyone has the same teeth, the same body. I miss people looking different and interesting.
Restroom and make sure my hair is perfect.
I watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers last night, and it stood out to me that while Sutherland is hot, he's also clearly in his 40s. Like, if Hollywood wanted to make a movie of a 40-something A-lister playing a middle-aged health inspector, who would they cast? Ryan Reynolds? Chris Evans?
I got this.
We no longer have leading men who are good-looking and charismatic, but also don't look like they wake up at 5 AM to hit the gym. On Twitter, someone was talking about the 1974 movie Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. They said it's weirdly invigorating to watch a movie where every actor has an incredible face, and they all look normal, like no veneers inside.
This is supposed to be a democracy.
Old actors have more grace than current ones. We can't have a truly accurate cast for the Beatles because they just don't make weird, crusty looking young men actors like that anymore. I miss casting movies that weren't all A-listers or trying to be. Sometimes just having normal ass people in your movie makes it feel more realistic.
Listen, bro. Alright, listen, man. At the end of the fucking day, right? This is really what it comes down to. What it comes down to is simply when you don't prioritize the movie and instead prioritize the looks and your status and your image and how people will quote unquote remember you in your career, ain't nobody cares, right? But when you prioritize those things, well, the soul of the movie goes away, right? Why do you think music is right now better than movies? Well, purely because you can't see the person while he's making the song. You listen to him. And if you actually look at a lot of these rappers and singers, they wear whatever they want. They don't really care, right? Hollywood took a whole different path, right, than the records. And so people are just tired of them. And people are also tired of another huge thing that he didn't mention for some reason, purely chasing money. Hollywood will do anything to squeeze out so much money out of that money toothpaste until there's no more. The toothpaste is completely flat. You can't take anything out. You look inside, it's empty. They're going to take every last drop, right? Now, you can talk about the juice, if you know what I'm talking about. You can talk about all these things, but at the end of the day, the true reason all behind this is greed and the care for status. That's truly what it is, and people are tired of it. People are very tired of it. And so that's my take on it, man. I reply to almost every comment, bro, so comment down below. Let's have a conversation. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Let me know what you think. And yeah, man, thank you for clicking on this video. Until next time, God bless and peace.